Number 3, roll call. Trustees are all present except for Julie, who is excused, and Shauna, who said she would be a little late. Staff is present except for Jane and Ally are excused, and Attorney Ashley is present. And when we make a motion tonight, it would be helpful because they're taking it off the tape if we would say your name and then make the motion or the second. So that would just make it easier for them when they're, you know. Okay, agenda changes, are there any? Okay. 5, consent agenda. A, August 7th, 2025, regular board meeting minutes. B, presentation of accounts and other claims against the village. If there are no questions, I would need a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve consent agenda, Jane O.
Second, Jim Mueller.
Roll call, Jim.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. 6, pre-registered citizens to be heard. There are none. 7, committee reports. A, library board. There is nothing at this time to report. A, unfinished business from previous meetings. A, discussion and possible action on Memorial Square design options.
So we're kind of at the last couple decisions for this. So the last time Dan Rammer was here, he talked about a different color scheme, and we talked about some beiges and different things, and then talked about using our logo colors. So they came up with 2 different options. The first option has kind of the beige umbrella, with a kind of turquoise, and then the black seating. And then the second would be more of try to use the polar bear colors out of our logo. But they need direction on which one of these options they need to go with so they can start getting stuff ordered and move forward with finalizing designs. Is there a preference or favorite between those two?
So is there a reason why, like the water fountain on this one, it's a turquoise, but this one it gets the beige? Why wouldn't we stick with the blue?
I think they're matching it to the schools.
Yep.
Okay. I like the green one just because it's draws attention to it, but I don't know how I feel about the beigey stuff. But
Well, I mean, if you want, we can ask them to make the water fountain blue too.
So you could just do the umbrella with the, instead of beige, it would be green, so like in the first option.
yeah. I think you kind of want to mix these two.
I like the purple, but I'm colorblind.
That's really teal. I know it looks purple up there, but isn't that really teal?
Oh, that blue?
Yeah.
It's like a cobalt.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, like
to
this
try to
color.
match our,
I don't like
Yeah.
that.
I think, do they not wanna do the,
they're trying to match the blue in our logo.
I know, but there's those, we have 3 of the shades, right? So that's not even like what the shade's gonna look like.
No, they
So-
couldn't do it on the program
Right.
with the triangles.
But I guess, I think initially we wanted, from what I remember is you guys wanted to have the shades be the local colors.
Right.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
So one of each of the 3, a yellow, a green, and a blue.
right.
Sure.
We can tell them to do, they just need to know a final decision so they can move forward.
Something to match what we
Didn't
did
we
down.
talk about just black for everything else?
Yeah, I
Isn't
thought
that
so.
So it'd be kind of a combination of the 2 options.
Right.
Or you could do green and yellow sails and then blue,
Yeah.
metal poles and stuff.
Yeah, I would just get rid of the beige for anything and just do colors.
Okay.
That's just, you know,
Do you wanna do village logo colors, is that what?
I thought that's what we talked about.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I think we just wanted to see, so I think we're all fine with that, Bob.
Okay,
Do you need a motion on it, or are you good with just a head nod?
No.
Okay,
okay, so the next thing is the sign, there's 2 options. There's a dark one, or a light one, where it's a white Hortonville, and then there's a darker one. like that. Both of them have the option to have LED behind them. Do we like the all black or the lighter white?
Is there a reason why it's not like curved more? Just, there's, you know, it's so straight across? I guess the signs, the examples we looked at were more,
Yeah,
Of
they're
that
more arching.
arch?
Yeah.
you know,
We could ask them to add additional curvature to it.
I mean, I don't know, that's what I liked in the first one, so we saw that arch and I kind of like that. This looks kind of like very clean.
Okay.
I like the black.
The black?
I like black,
I like
I think it depends very much what's behind it,
yeah.
as to whether or not it should be black or lighter color. I mean, when you're looking at it, if it's a dark color behind, then it should probably be a light colored letters, and if there isn't something behind it, then it should probably be the darker colored letters. But
So it's gonna
from
go
the
kind
perspective,
of
it's hard for
where
me to tell.
where the trees are right now.
Yeah,
But it'll
what's
be
gonna
lighter.
behind it.
As I said,
Um,
it's gonna be,
I mean, when
A
you're
couple of
looking
the
at it.
flags, so you're looking this direction.
So yeah, then I would say it's probably the darker one then.
Dark one.
And we like that lit behind it though?
Yeah.
Easy enough? Is everybody in agreement on that? Okay.
What about the height?
So that, the next thing is the height of the bricks. So they gave us two examples. We have a 50-inch and a 70-inch. And it's more, I guess, personal preference. Nathan and I were talking about it. I think if somebody really wanted to climb up on it, they could get up on either.
If they want to get up there, they're gonna get up there.
Yeah.
I don't think that's
Exactly.
So I don't, do you like the look of a shorter one or a longer one?
It's hard to tell on the picture, cause they're so, I mean,
On the,
7
what's
inches
50?
is-
yeah, on the left, you can kind of see a person standing next to it.
Is that that's the taller one?
Yeah.
So 7
Yeah,
inches.
they
I
didn't
think the
really
short
change
one
it
too.
for the, they didn't change
No.
the person next to it.
Isn't 72?
So 70 it would
6
be
feet,
Five,
like 6
10.
feet.
5'10",
My-
almost 6.
I would say the taller one.
The only thing I thought of is the taller one, if you're worried about people getting up there, it's that center piece hanging from, to break that, but that,
No.
it's gonna cost probably a lot more too.
For the 20 inches of brick,
Yeah,
how much are we talking?
we don't know.
Okay.
I think we could ask for, estimates on
Well,
both.
this is 50, so 4 foot 2 inches,
Yeah.
4 foot 2 or 6.
I think we need to try to decide on one at this point. We're getting pretty close to finalizing designs.
I mean, to me, the brick is just holding up, I mean, it's just there, it's not,
And it's actually a kind of fake brick.
it's a full brick.
Yeah.
That helps price wise.
Yeah.
No,
I guess it depends on the cost. I mean,
if it's
I-
fake, it probably shouldn't be too much of a
It's
difference.
gonna be pretty close.
pretty close to the same as this big brick. Then my preference would be to say go the higher route. And it doesn't become a resting place for garbage. And whatever you wanna set there.
Okay. So the 70
That's just my.
Yeah.
I like the higher, I like the, Bob,
and
higher or lower?
6 foot, you know, so you're up here instead of 4 foot 2.
I think it's
Right
gonna
here, that's
stand
the
out
perfect
more if
spot
it's
to
up
set your
higher.
roof out.
Right.
And
That's
that's
what I'm
our-
thinking, 'cause it's right around the corner from the bar, so.
that's the whole kind of reason behind
That's what I'm
it.
thinking,
to
is
stand
Right,
out.
that's our goal.
You know,
So I don't see why we would want it shorter.
Okay.
it's a perfect spot.
So then the
Not
last
with soda cans or
decision would
whatever.
be what color of the brick style, and there's 6 different options that.
Do we
they
have brick
provide.
down there already? And then on anything, or is anything going in that's brick, just to keep it consistent?
I think the only brick is probably the neighboring
Yeah.
property,
Okay.
which is
So you have
darker, but
a cream, caramel, sandstone, and spiced for these 3 options. And then there's 3 more.
I like the St. Luke's one.
three,
Yeah,
Right.
number
Is
6,
that-
the one here, the one down there.
Or-
the
that's
multicolored.
kinda like the
Oh.
more traditional brick,
Which one do you like?
I like the St. Luke's,
that would be number 6.
number 6.
Is there any brick on that side of that building, or is that all
That's
siding?
what I asked. I think it's,
Gray metal.
You know, or I'm talking like under the beer sign,
Yeah.
is
Talking
it
about
all siding, or
What
is it?
about yours?
Black sign.
Yeah, is it all, is there brick underneath that? I know there used to be brick over the whole thing, but I don't remember if there's any, if it's all siding. You know, Claire?
It's black posts, right?
is this the only place the brick's gonna be, is
Yeah, on those,
just those posts?
Yeah.
So that's the only thing we're gonna see in brick.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the light ones, but they get dirty.
Yeah, but I'm thinking the darker one is gonna kind of blend in with the old, police department. Look like it's not gonna be separated, you know what I'm saying?
Isn't that painted though, on
Well,
both sides?
There's some paint on there, but there's a mural thing on there, but the rest of it I think is brick, isn't it? So it's a darker color.
Yeah, it is.
I'm just thinking about setting it off from
Yeah.
so it's a separate space, so it's not.
So it doesn't get too busy down there.
Will you see it though, like with what's going in the park?
Yeah, I don't know.
I
I mean, it's
mean,
gonna be out in the front though.
Yeah.
yeah, it's
It's
gonna be
gonna be in
that,
the very front.
the very front,
Right.
and then you've got greenery, tables, a sail. I'm curious how much that you'll even see. I
Yeah,
don't,
no. I just throwing it out there as to, I'm trying to picture it in my mind as you go past and you're looking at it, you know, cause you've got two sides, and when you're coming in through town, you got the
I don't know if you can
road
pull that up.
way behind it,
You
but
can
if you're
see
coming in
there's
the other
no
way,
brick
you've got
on that.
either the Blatz background wall for the, what is it, the insurance and everything now, right? Or you've got the old police department on the other side, so.
here's a picture.
I
of
just
the
went to
police
Street
department
View,
in it.
yeah, and you don't have any, there's no brick on
Here's a
that by
picture
the
of police
Blatt sign.
department in it,
It's just the old PD.
Yeah, so that's a darker brick, that's, I'm just
like that.
trying to make sure it's, you know, it's set out from,
Well, and all this that was up, that's currently there is going away,
Yep.
right?
yep, that's what I'm thinking, it's
Yep.
gonna open up, and then you're gonna be looking right through, with the exception of the backdrop. and then
There you go.
Be able to see from there.
Yeah, so, yeah, cause if you put too light, then you end up blending in with the same as that, and do you want it
Right.
to, do you want it to be the same as the Blatz wall, or do you wanna go darker and then blend in over there, or do you wanna set it off from both somehow?
Well, how are you gonna set it
I don't
up?
know.
Because,
I know, I just.
come on now, decorator Jim.
Pink. Pink brick, I don't know.
Well, because if you go light, then you're blending in with the sidewalk, and then it's gonna be the whole problem we have with sales, but it was really boring.
Yeah,
Well, the St. Luke's brick would, it's got kind of
St.
both of those colors in there.
Yeah, it kind of's got a little bit of everything in it, I think.
okay.
And they've got it with black already,
Mm-hmm.
like the number and stuff. That's why I like that one, cause it already had the black
Looks old.
in there. But
Yeah, so like right now, the bricks that's there sets itself off. If you look at that right there, the brick just sets itself apart from everything else because it doesn't blend into the background this way, it doesn't blend into the background that way. It's just it's something that you actually gonna see, look at and notice that it's there. Instead of it having to be, kind of
yeah,
all blended together. So if you look at, the piece that's closer to the right side there, that sort of blends in with the
Right.
wall.
but we're only gonna be like right
Yeah,
here, right?
Yeah, right there.
So
and-
we'll,
Well, two of them, one on each
yeah,
side.
one on each side, so we'll have
Yeah.
like, not even a third of what, well, now when it's all overgrown by trees anyway, so,
That's
it's
an
like
old
anyway,
picture, look how
so.
small those trees are.
Mhm.
I know.
Yeah, I have huge, I don't have a huge opinion either way, I'm just very,
And I like the posts being black with
Right.
fencing.
Mhm.
So here in number 6,
Yeah.
Or they-
Are we good?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yep.
Anything else?
that's all we need for that.
Okay. Okay, we'll go to 9, new business. A, discussion and possible action on Packer City truck invoice for dump truck repairs.
So this is something I just wanted to bring to the board's attention. We had problems with our brakes on our dump truck. And when we brought them in to get fixed, once they got it all opened up, they found some more issues that we were having. And the final cost did go over 5,000. It was something that we needed to have done. A dump truck with no brakes is a problem.
Mhm.
And we had a project that we needed the dump truck for. So just wanted to make sure that the board was aware that we had to spend this to repair a dump truck.
Thank you.
Any questions? Otherwise, we would need a motion.
Is it 64, 67? Is that the total?
58.
64, 67, 81.
No, no. We don't pay taxes.
Oh, yeah,
I'll make a motion to
58, 84.
accept the invoice for Packer City truck for $64.67.
58.84. We don't pay taxes. The one below it.
That
What
was
about
just
the
corrected.
shop supplies though?
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, plus you got something, 246, you got some.
we gotta do some math. I didn't
Mhm.
see that
Yeah.
Good damn man.
real quickly.
61, 30, 63.
Beat me to it.
What was it?
Because I'm faster with a pen than a calculator.
Hold on.
61, 30, 63.
6130
63.
63.
Very good.
I'll
Bob,
second.
oh, yeah, Bob Drew.
I'll second. Moeller.
Roll call, Jim.
Aye.
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 Motion carried. B, discussion and possible action on recommendation from Planning and Zoning Commission to rezone the following parcels from C1 General Commercial to D Downtown Zoning District, Z-2-25, parcel 240-04300 and 240-040400.
Planning and zoning met last week on this, had a public hearing. There was a few, people that came out, a few business owners in the area, and the neighbor to the, south of them, came out. And generally, the concerns were why, what would be the reason to do it, what's the difference between the two zoning districts, considering the business that's trying to go in there, works in either zoning district. So after those conversations, neighbors didn't seem bad against it. The homeowner near there, basically, the difference is it's gonna add a little more restrictions into the use that could go into that area, is what they ended up hearing from me, and kind of swayed them a little bit. Downtown zoning district had a little more restrictions on what can go in there, and then what would be potentially a conditional use in the downtown zoning compared to C1 general commercial. The benefit for the landowner is it puts them into the downtown district. They would then be able to go for the grant that the village has through the WEDC. But it also is in a location that's right next into the downtown. We will have a trail going through there. We will be in the future hopefully fixing up that stream around that same time, and kind of trying to make that, beautify that area back there a little more than what it is right now. So that was, I believe, the general concern. I think there was some people who were questioning the business going in, and we just basically said that the zoning code doesn't really allow us to choose what type of business goes in there if it fits the zoning code. So, like, if a bar wanted to go in there, they would have to do a conditional use, so they'd have to apply for a conditional use to put a bar in there. C1, it's just allowed. The other one was auto sales could go in there. Currently, it can't go in the downtown zoning district as part of our zoning district. So the zoning district has a lot more restrictions on what can go in there. It's pretty much allows for office, personal care, and service-based businesses, retail, no living quarters except for above, and that's kind of the general difference.
Do we have any other, side street, offshoots from the downtown?
Kind of,
district?
yeah, I mean, Claire's business is part of it. Julie's home is actually, goes out that far. It's on Main Street, but,
Yeah.
going off of Main Street, I would say probably Claire's is the only one that's off of Main Street technically.
Okay.
Obviously, Miles is the motorsports place is part of that, where a portion of it's up front, but they're mostly entrances on the Mill Street side. But yeah, that's kind of right now what's downtown zoning district.
Where's our limit to expanding that? I mean, not to say, Jane wants to be part of it, but she won't be there forever, so when the next business goes in there, if they
Yeah, I mean,
try to do it,
realistically, you could.
is that,
Yeah, you could, it's typically they say that you don't wanna just be, the zoning districts they try to be contiguous with each other, so you're not just like spot zoning.
okay.
Generally, I think I could see that whole backside by that stream potentially being in that district if I think if Corpse ever sold their house, would be one that we would probably like to be in that district and probably like it to be commercial rather than residential, to be honest. And I think even just on the other side of that stream as well.
Would this be something that would extend to like where Bricks is and where
It could potentially,
Donaldson's and stuff like
right.
that? Okay.
If they wanted to and we felt like it made sense, and to be honest, I think it kinda does, if you start, I mean, you're looking out to in the future, like 20, 30 years, and you're seeing expansion of the downtown, potentially some of the residents go away, and you add in these smaller mom and pop shops, yeah.
Okay.
Are you looking at that downtown zoning district and what's allowed and not allowed? I mean, is that really something we could expand on? Or
As in what?
are we fine with what we are saying right now? Cause there's a limit, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think as of right now, I think it's fine. Some of it's problematic because it's not, there has been times where it's like kind of been iffy because the owner will rent it out and they don't necessarily know what the zoning code is and technically it shouldn't be in there, which we've talked to them about. Luckily, the one that I think, can't remember what it was, but that one there was one in there that we did change because it made sense to have it in there. It was one of the more recent updates we did to that zoning code, that we changed it from, not non-use. I think it was for maybe it was a massage parlor or something like that, or, it was in one of Miles's buildings, like down there. I can't remember what it was exactly. But it was a service-based business, which made sense to kind of allow it. I'd have to look back at that zoning change, but as of right now, I don't think there's anything that we would look at adding or removing.
Okay.
Is there anything in the zoning code, so all of a sudden we don't have 6 coffee shops in town? Is there
No.
any way of doing that?
No.
So how
That's-
does New London do it? I don't know.
Legally, I don't know.
Yeah.
They might be doing it illegally. I wouldn't necessarily say that most of, that seems odd to me that.
I mean, it just would be nice to have a nice variety of new businesses coming into town.
Right, but I don't know, there's no way to legally do that.
Well, that's why I was thinking, are we limiting bringing in new business because we are saying you can't do this and you can't do that, or? I mean, is there something
yeah,
we can expand on?
potentially, but I think some of the businesses that would be going in there would be detrimental to the downtown and not really go with what the downtown makeup is. There's nothing really that's banned out of there that I think is like causing problems for people to fill their storefronts. If that makes sense.
I
I
think
mean-
if someone was feeling limited, you would know about it. If there's something that they wanted to do and they were having a hard time figuring out how to do it under your code. But the terminology is pretty general.
Right.
You know, when you're talking about like sales of services and goods, that can mean so many different things. Restaurants, that can mean so many different things.
Mhm. Well, I heard that, someone talked about, a wine place,
Yep.
and things like that.
That would be allowed.
So that is allowed.
Yeah, I mean, they might have to go through, depending, like distilleries and stuff might have to go through conditional use, which isn't a problem for the most part. It just allows you then to kind of regulate stuff that might come up with that type of business that would be beneficial, whether it's, placement of trash cans if they have an outdoor seating area, for outdoor drinking, different things like that that you could do in the conditional use. Like, I think for Miles, one of the conditional uses we gave him for the Ultra Motor Source was the limiting the number of sales that could be on that parcel at one time. That was kind of how we did it that way.
Okay.
So I haven't heard from anyone that has asked about it. Most of the time, it seems like this stuff fills, no one calls me ahead of time to make sure it's compliant, but it's usually I drive around and I see there's a new business there and I'm like, oh, interesting, so,
Okay.
yeah.
Are there any questions? Otherwise, we need a motion.
So the only reason that we're just going out to this business and not just including what would seem like the rest of it should be included is because nobody else made a request.
Right.
And we need to request to extend that.
I mean, you don't need to, the village, if we wanted to, could propose it when we do a rezone of properties.
Okay.
But you're also then potentially telling owners and limiting what they can do, and sometimes that's fine. It wouldn't be a problem, I don't think, to do that in the future when we do our general rezone zoning code that we're looking at right now.
Alright, I'm just wondering.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems to make sense if you were doing it, you just
Right.
change it because it's almost all contiguous
But,
businesses.
so,
With the
right.
exception of two houses, it's all business, it's gonna be.
You also, for those houses, you gotta be kind of careful because then it changes the use of their property in the future. If their house burns down, they might not be able to rebuild.
Okay, we are looking for a motion.
I will make a motion to approve the, rezone of, parcels from C1 general commercial to the D downtown zoning district, Z2-25 parcel 240-0403-00 and 240-0404-00, Moeller.
I'll second, Jane. Thank you.
Okay, roll call, Jim.
Aye.
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 I'm gonna abstain because I wasn't here.
Okay,
That discussion.
one abstain. Motion carried. We'll go to C, discussion and possible action on 2022 developers agreement for 217 West Main Street.
So this, I asked Nathan to put this on, and it wasn't intended for action, it was just, I look back at this, and, I was just talking to Nathan about this, and I'm not terribly unhappy with the way that things turned out with that. We're talking about the pocket park, the space that's next to the photography, well, in the middle of the photography now, it's just an empty space that's sitting there. I'm just wanted to, bring it up that I think that we should probably look at that and see if there's a way that we could do better than what we did in the future. I think what we did was we sold it to them with a contingency to build in a certain amount of time with a rebate if they built within the time frame. And I was just talking to Nathan earlier, and so maybe we delay in the future. Maybe we delay that process a little bit until they actually come to us with a plan and something a little bit more concrete, so that way we could maybe, because the intent was to get something built there and not to just have the space sit empty. If we were gonna sell it, we wanted to have something put into there that added to the village and added to the value of the downtown, and it looks like right now it's just gonna sit there. And we didn't put a big enough hook on there, and there may not have been able to put because of the value of the property itself, but maybe we needed to look at a different process for selling that property off, because it won't be, I don't think it'll be the last time that we do something of that nature. And I just didn't like, I don't think that we got the best that we could have out of what we did. And I think, any sort of suggestion or discussion about it would be beneficial. So that's why I asked to have it put on there, because I don't know if there's other good options for us to pursue if we are to try to compel as best we can development of the space that we're selling. Other than what we did at that time was we sold it to them for like $11,000 and said, if you develop it within the first year or two, I don't remember exactly, year or 2 years, you get all of it back, and if after another year, then you only get like $4,000 back, and then after that you don't get anything back. But the intent was to sell it off and have something done with it, and not just sell it off so it can sit as a vacant lot. And I don't know what else exactly we could do other than, like Nathan suggested, we could delay the sale of a property or something of that nature until the process gets a little bit further along. And just, I don't know if you could do like what we just did with what was the other thing where we did like a memorandum of
MOU.
like a MOA, right, or a MOU,
Yep.
memorandum of understanding, where we are obligated as long as things go. So, because I know there's investment when it comes to developing a property. So whoever's going to do it, you're going to pay an engineering firm to figure everything out. You have investment, so we somehow need to tie ourselves, but not just give it away and then have nothing happen, if at all possible. Just ways to. I just thought it was worthwhile to think about that and see if anybody else had any suggestions or ideas, or if there was a legal way that we could maybe
Yeah, well,
push them.
I think we discussed it a little bit. I think it was the last meeting that this came up. There's certainly a timing issue, so if you wanna hold on to the property until they have more plans, that's something that you could do. You could structure it with a bigger sort of reimbursement if the value of the property makes sense. You could issue a mortgage that would be forgiven if they develop within a reasonable period of time. I guess depending on the improvements, you could potentially ask for some sort of financial guarantee, either an escrow or a letter of credit to say like, here are the funds I'm gonna use toward the project.
Oh yeah, that's
That gets a little bit hairy when we're talking not about public improvements, but private improvements that are going into the property.
Yeah.
It's hard to require that, because once they have ownership of the property, how they use it is really up to them. So typically when we see a financial guarantee, we want that to be tied to a public improvement.
Okay. Well, how do
And then
we do that with development property, like subdivision developments and stuff like that?
subdivision development, you're gonna have roads that are gonna go in, and sewer and water,
Okay.
and maybe
Oh,
ponds.
okay, yeah.
So those are all public improvements that you wanna guarantee there's money set aside for, so if
Okay.
the development fails, you're not fighting with the bank over a bond or something silly that was issued that's really difficult to recover. I know in the past the village had terminology and development agreements about a right to re-enter and to take the property back. Those are really hard to enforce. You can't just go over there and stick your flag in the ground and say it's ours again. You have to issue a notice, you have to sue the person,
Yeah,
and then if they have improved the property, typically that will offset with what you're getting back. I mean, it can become a really lengthy process to litigate. And that might not be it depends on the project, but you might not get the result you're hoping for with that language. You might
Yeah.
not actually get the property back. You're probably gonna get a chunk of cash that's way less than you think you should be entitled to. So, yeah, I think when you're looking at these, it's hard to have a rule of thumb. It has to be case by case to a large extent. There are different sort of like financial hooks. It's difficult when the
Yeah.
value of the property is, what was the fair market value of this property?
I think it was like 11,000.
yeah, it was
So that,
very minimal.
the purchase price was.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very minimal value of the property, it's just that, you know, the whole intent was to have it developed and have something go in, and I just didn't, looking back at it, it was just sticking, it was
I
just
understand.
poking me, saying, you know, there had to be something else that we could have potentially done.
I think knowing, now hindsight's always 20/20,
Yeah.
knowing what we know now, the timing could have been better.
Yeah,
The property should not have transferred until maybe they even had a contract in place for the work that you wanted to be done out there to be done. So let's see a signed contract before we allow the property to transfer, something like that. No good deed. I feel like this was one of those properties, and I remember sitting through those meetings and talking about their sort of concept plan, and it looked like it was gonna be
yeah.
a neat space. I have no idea what ended up happening, but it
Nothing.
didn't move
It's
forward.
just-
Well, but
Yeah.
They bought,
why?
they bought the other building.
Yeah, they bought the other building.
So they expanded sort of the other
Yeah.
way and delayed,
But weren't they originally planning to do that?
Yeah. on top
I
of
don't think
that.
so.
Oh,
don't
I
think
thought
so.
that they were, and they were gonna connect the two.
I
Yeah.
know they were
But
too.
the,
Yeah.
That's
the
what they
other,
said.
Yeah,
it was the red, white, and blue building, I think, that came up for sale that they bought next to it on the other side. That,
Oh,
they didn't
okay.
have planned for it.
Cause I mean, that was a couple of years ago now, but I remember sitting here thinking, that, that would be
Yeah.
a nice big space for an office or, anything.
Especially with all the improvements we're gonna be doing, downtown, it'd be nice to have.
Yeah, we're gonna have an empty space that's, that they're not gonna do anything with, and we're not able to do anything with now. I just wanted to, so that, cause a lot of the members will still be, next time something like this comes up, so I just wanted to bring it up.
have we contacted them at all to say, can we get this back, can we,
I've
or
offered
anything?
it, but they,
They're not interested?
no, they're trying to figure out how to make it work for what they need it, and I think it's gonna be really hard for them to get what they want, cause I think one of them, they wanted to basically have access from Main Street, and I said that's not gonna happen. The two that have access off Main Street are getting taken away, from the reconstruction. The county doesn't want cars going across the new downtown there, down the sidewalks. So it's gonna limit their use there for what they wanted it for, because they wanted basically a taller garage to put their cars in while they're wrapping them. I think their idea right now is to try to put a fence in, across there, basically to prevent people from going through there. But
And then we see the weed, like we do in the other empty lot that's on Main Street. Yeah, that's too bad. But if our hands are tied, they're tied.
yeah,
Anything else? Okay, we will go to 10. Report of village officials. A, clerk treasurer Jane's report is in the packet. B, director of public works Aaron.
My report is in the packet. We did start the Fountain Court mini storm sewer project. The storm sewer is in. So now, in the next couple of weeks, they're going to be doing the mill and overlay on Fountain Court as well as on John Street.
Any questions for Aaron?
No surprises?
Nope, actually
Nothing.
went really well.
What does the tennis association have to say?
They came in because of the new tennis courts that are coming in and just offered their services if the village wanted to do any kind of tennis outreach programs or anything like that, or if we had any plans on building additional tennis courts. She really wanted to stop by and just kind of introduce herself and offer their services before she met with the high school, because I think they are helping the high school with some stuff they're doing over there.
I think they gave him a larger grant.
Thank you.
Any other questions? We'll go to C, police chief Brian.
Yeah, reports in the packet, couple weeks of staffing and personnel things, and thank you Ashley, Nathan, Jim and Jeannie. Provide some updates on those. Crossing guards, just getting ready with those folks, with school year starting in our SRO, so got a couple of weeks and we hit day one. Not even a couple weeks.
No. Any questions for Brian? Okay, we'll go to D, library director, and there is no report from Ally. E, attorney Ashley. Okay. F, administrator Nathan.
Just been busy with other things this week. Started working on a concept for Kid 7 on the south side of town, basically, to hopefully fund some projects we have coming up in the next 10 years. So kind of a further outlook for some of the Dewey Street project, Salt Mill Street project, potentially using some. You usually stick a lot of different types of projects in those, just to kind of see, depending on what the income level is from the TID itself, to see if we wanted to fund certain things. One of the things is it'll be tied to the old canning factory potentially, so if we do get a good amount of money, maybe there could be some development there in the next 10 years if the owner wants to sell or something else happens over there. So hopefully, I'll be kind of giving you guys a proposal from Ellers for creating that coming up here. So yeah, I'm just working on creating the district right now and kind of getting a list of projects I can see in the next 10 years or something. So.
Any questions for Nathan? Okay, we'll go to G, building permit report, there is none. H, any other miscellaneous topics for future discussion? There is none. 11, communication and miscellaneous business. A, Black Otter Lake District News, Bob.
We have our annual meeting next Wednesday, right here, 5 o'clock, so please come.
Okay. Any questions for Bob? Okay, we'll go to B, Hortonville Hortonia Fire District News, Jim.
There's none.
Okay, C, Gold Cross Ambulance Run Report and News, there is none. Hortonville Civic Association, Jane.
Nothing new.
And E, Senior Activities, Jane.
We meet on September 4th next at noon here.
12, comments and suggestions from citizens present. Is there anything? Okay. 13, motion to appoint minute taker for closed session.
I make a motion to appoint Shauna Moeller.
Second, Jane.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. 14, I would need a motion to go into closed session.
I'll make a motion to go into closed session under state statute 19.851C considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility. Jane?
I'll second. Moeller?
Roll call, Jim?
Aye.
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 Okay. Motion carried. 15, we need a 5-minute recess to clear the meeting room. 18, any action on matters discussed in closed session? There is none. 19, I would need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn. Moeller?
Second, Jane?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are now adjourned at 7:25.